Welcome to this TribeVibeTV.com interview presented by Progenex, joined now by Miranda Oldroyd. And Miranda, first off, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us a little bit. I know a lot of people out there are familiar with you from the recent CrossFit Games broadcast that, of course, not only ran a few months ago, but then ran all New Year's weekend. So now everybody knows who you are. Talk first about that experience. I mean, obviously, getting the chance to do that has really put you on the map even more so in the mainstream world, not just the CrossFit world.
Yeah, when we started working on some of that stuff, we knew we were going to be on ESPN 3, the broadcast that was on the internet. But we didn't know until a couple of weeks, maybe, before the games that we were going to be on TV. So it was just kind of like a whirlwind. I don't think that I've even, to this point, had a chance to really think about it too much, and as far as being on television, I guess. But it's really cool. I feel really lucky to have been a part of it, and to have, seen it in its infancy all the way from I was at the 2008 games till now. It's crazy. So.
Well, yeah, talking about the evolution of the CrossFit Games, since it's something that you're very involved in now, covering, just seeing where it's gone. I've been to the last few years as well, and now seeing where it is now. How do you think the mainstream effect has kind of coexisted with CrossFit? I mean, even like last night, Biggest Loser now doing some CrossFit. I mean, what are your thoughts on that whole aspect where CrossFit's becoming more mainstream?
I think that as long as we're doing our jobs at the level of the main website, CrossFit.com, and the CrossFit Journal, and at the seminars, that it's going to be okay, even if it becomes mainstream, because we're still trying to do what we can to keep CrossFit what it's supposed to be, which is just a way to make people better, at all levels of their life. So I think if the affiliates can remember that, and if we can remember that, it'll be fine. And it's just a way to reach out to even more people, which is exciting. I actually like the games thing and then the Biggest Loser thing kind of around the same time, because it shows it with people who are completely out of shape and need this stuff to change their lives, and then, of course, the top-level athletes on the flip side of that, which is really cool, doing the same thing.
Well, and you bring up a really good point, and that really has to do with the fact that CrossFit really is for anyone, not necessarily for everyone, because it takes some serious work ethic and commitment. It's a lifestyle, but anybody can do it, and the Biggest Loser thing is a great demonstration of that. I think a lot of people did look at the CrossFit Games and say, wow, those are some amazing athletes. I could never do that. As a coach and as a person who has knowledge of the product of CrossFit, what are your thoughts on making it scalable so anybody can do it, and the importance of that?
It is important for people to remember that, and even, we see the workouts on the main page on CrossFit.com, and a lot of people would maybe go there and think I can't do that, but those workouts are made for those top-level athletes. Everybody can do it. We've seen the Wounded Warrior seminars where people missing limbs are doing this stuff. We've seen stuff with the kids. We've seen stuff with people who are extremely overweight, and just the changes. It's very important for people to remember that and to create an atmosphere in their affiliates or wherever it is they're doing CrossFit that invites everybody, not just top-level athletes. The games, to me, are a big commercial for CrossFit, but it's not what CrossFit necessarily is, and it's not what's most important to us. So
a lot of people probably wonder, what do you do in the majority of your time? Obviously, you've done some broadcasting now on the CrossFit Games stuff. I've seen journal videos of you traveling all over the world as the Open goes on, doing your WODs everywhere in the 6 weeks of the Open last year. But what do you do for a living? Where do you live? Kind of tell your story briefly.
Right now I live in Santa Cruz, California. I've lived here for 7-8 months maybe, just right before the regionals we moved here. Before that I was living in Salt Lake City, Utah, and myself and my husband owned an affiliate, which we no longer own, CrossFit 801. They're in Salt Lake City. Now I work full-time for CrossFit on the seminar staff, and I guess kind of on the media department as well when they need me. And I'm still traveling for the level 1 seminars and the coaches prep courses.
And as far as the training aspect goes, how big of a part of your life? Obviously, you live the code, you train, but are you still interested in competing? What's your training regimen like? Diet, those kind of things. Just give people a picture of how serious you are about the training regimen that is CrossFit.
Yeah, I'm definitely still 100% committed to trying to compete in the games. It's been funny. Recently, I've been introduced to some of the level one seminars as the like voice of CrossFit, which is really cool, and I feel really, really blessed to have that. But at the same time, like I want to still be on the other side of the microphone. I want someone to interview me. So yeah, it still means a lot to me. I'm still working on it every day. I have a coach that I pay to program for me, and I'm working on all that stuff, and I'm still taking it very seriously and eating well and doing what I feel like I need to do to be competitive. So,
talking about the fuel, the eating, the nutrition, obviously this is a thing that most people, out of everything, have their own version based on their body type and their programming that they're doing and all that. What's your diet like, and how does Progenex fit into that?
yeah, I eat really clean for the most part. I used to be known for my post-workout chocolate milk, and I've even kind of replaced that with some cleaner stuff. But I have used the Progenex since 2010. I met those guys at my sectional competition, and they gave me some stuff and been sponsoring me pretty much ever since. I take it on the road with me, the little travel packets. Use it mostly post-workout. I'm also playing around with using it in one of my meals. I suck at eating. That's part of the reason why I like Progenex is because I can't eat after I work out. I'm always so sick, but I actually suck at eating like regularly too.
You're always
so
sick.
I've been playing around with making a meal out of the more muscle mixed with some coconut milk and almond butter and stuff. And it's only been a couple of days of that, so the jury's still out there. But yeah, I have used Progenex for, I guess, almost 2 years. So
Cool. Well, one last thing, and then we'll let you go. Talking about the upcoming Open, obviously a lot of anticipation on what the WODs are going to be and how it's all going to work this year. Now that more people have heard about CrossFit, even more athletes, assumably, will be competing in it. What are some of your goals as a competitor, since you're a competitor first and a broadcaster second, for the upcoming games?
Yeah, I watched some of the other interviews that you did with Michelle Kinney and Dave Lipson, and it's really cool. They have really extensive backgrounds in, I played this in college, and then, Dave with the professional sports, and Michelle's playing football and all this stuff. And one of my main goals, I don't have a background like that. I was a high school cheerleader and then an aerobics instructor. So one of the things that fuels me to keep competing is to hopefully make it still feel available to anybody, that they can still go for it. You don't have to have a huge background to compete in the Open and to compete in the regionals and try to make it to the games. And there's not a lot of people left who are making it to the games that don't have that background, but it's one of the things that fuels me. And I don't necessarily, this year I was fifth in my regional, which I was like 9 points or something like that away from qualifying. But it was an improvement from the year before, and that's all I can really ask for. And that's all I'm really looking to do, is to continue to improve and know that I did my very best on game day and not compare myself to anybody else, which is hard. But that's the goal.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do this? Why don't you make it to the games, and I'll interview you?
Okay. That sounds great.
In the meantime, thanks for joining us. I'll get back with you at open time, and we'll track you down and see how you're doing. But good luck, and keep working hard.
Okay, thank you.